Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Jason White. This is Jason's Weird Reads. Thank you for joining me. If you're new here and you like dark fiction of any sort, like horror, science fiction, fantasy, then definitely click the subscribe button down there and comment and we'll discuss some books. Alright, so a little while ago, I think at the end of 2019, the beginning of 2020, Chad Lutzke sent to me The Neon Owl. And it took me a while to get to it because I had some other books that I was trying to read at the time, and you know, I'm a big mood reader too, so it did definitely take some time. And so my apologies to Chad for taking my time in getting to this, but I'm really glad that I got to this, and this is my review for it. So here is the synopsis. I'm going to put on my readers, as Richard from Are You Into Horror always says. Alright, Jinx is a record-collecting, middle-aged minimalist whose dreams of becoming a detective are waylaid by love and laziness. But when he inherits his late aunt's rundown motel, the Neon Owl, his passion for investigative work reignites while he searches for answers as to who keeps shitting in the bushes. His findings lead to a full-blown murder mystery where he and his newfound friend, Roddy, the elderly, one-legged handyman, set out to find the killer. This is a crime noirish whodunit rife with humor, grit, and ranch dressing. So, yeah, this book, I thought, honestly, that it would be funnier, but it's not. It's funny. It certainly has a lot of humor in it, but it's not as funny as I thought it would be, and that's not a complaint. Just the very idea that somebody's taking a shit in the front bushes of Jinx's new motel, and that he and his one-legged sidekick, Roddy, are, excuse me, my cat wants to jump up. There she is. This is Scrapper. Say hi, Scrapper. Hello. Just the idea of Jinx deciding to investigate who's taking a shit in his bushes at the front of his motel with his sidekick, who's an elderly, one-legged man who likes to jump around without his prosthetic. That alone is very funny. So, yeah, the book pretty much starts off where Jinx learns of his aunt's death, and he goes and he checks out this motel, and he decides that he's going to keep it, and he's going to run it. Now, this motel isn't necessarily one where they accept new guests. It involves, like, Roddy, who lives at the motel, and he basically rents one of the motel rooms, and there's a cast of characters who also rent the motel rooms, and they live there. There's a woman with 2 kids who works across the street at a strip joint. There's a girl who's like barely of age living there alone, and there's a few others. And there's also a lot of homeless people who are around, and one of the homeless people, well, at least Jinx suspects that the homeless people are the ones taking the dump in the front bushes. And so, as I've said, they decide to investigate, and when they decide to investigate this, they start let me backtrack a bit, because Jinx is definitely a guy who definitely dreamed of becoming an investigator, a private eye, a private dick. And so they decide, to sort of fulfill those childhood fantasies, to stake the joint and watch overnight, see who's taking the dump. And while they do that, they run into something that's much darker, much more awful going on. And this leads them to, to the conclusion. I'm not going to go any deeper into that because I don't want to spoil anything. This is a murder mystery after all. And so, overall, I really enjoyed this book. It was a lot of fun, and I did have a couple complaints about it, though, a couple criticisms. One, the stripper mom, she had some pretty young kids. I can't remember what age they were, but they just didn't exist in the story. I imagine having kids and leaving them in a motel room would be an issue, and they would at least appear to Jinx more often than not. And so their absence sort of made that storyline seem unbelievable in a sense. And also Jinx, nothing bad ever really happens to Jinx in this story. I think the best detective stories are when the detective gets the living snot beat out of them, and they lived obviously to tell the tale. Now this is a series. It's book 1, When the Shit Hits the Van. I keep saying fan, but it's van, because that title is actually a scene in the book. And it's actually kind of funny too. But yeah, those are my only criticisms. Other than that, I really enjoyed this book. I put it on my top 10 for the first half of the year, and it's definitely going to stay there. I think it'll make it to the end of the year's top 10 list. We shall see. I have some other Chad Lutzke books I want to read, but getting back to this book, it is a series, so it'll be interesting to see where he takes Jinx and Roddy in the future, and see, maybe the terrible shit that will happen to them. Alright, so thank you for watching. That's my review of the Neon Owl book number 1, When the Shit Hits the Van. Thank you for watching. Please keep being safe out there, and keep being creative, and I will catch you guys in the next bookish video.